G'day YouTube. This is 27th of December 2017, and we're working on the Boartown Stepvan again. This is my 5th day off in a row, and my last day off in a row. Sad I have to go back to work tomorrow. But anyway, what are we working on? So we're working on, I'm going to do some little finishing up on the tailgate. Those videos are all posted if you want to see them. And I'm looking ahead at some other projects that I've had parts ordered and are arriving. And what we're going to look at today is some lighting. How am I going to light this thing? I thought I would show you exactly what I'm going to do. Again, I've left the corners of this Stepvan all open for running wiring, and I'm going to install something on the order of a board, a 1x6 or something. Either a nice finished board, it'll be all stained and so forth, or upholstered, and it'll hinge off the ceiling or something, allow me access when I need it. Other than that, they'll be latched in place. And in that 1x6 will be where my lights are mounted. So they'll actually be up here at a angle, so they're not shining right up my face or right over my head. I have limited amount of headroom, so I didn't want anything that, hung down, or, and some people might be in here that are taller than me. So I want these lights mounted over here on the side. And I ordered 12 of these. These are an LED. They're like semi-flush. So you drill you cut a hole with a hole saw or something and bolt these in, and they would just stick out just a little bit, and they'll look really nice, and they'll be mounted again in this position. So LED lights would be really nice, but there are times when I don't really want lights bright, especially if I'm working at night. Or potentially having a little light on even while this thing rolls down the highway. So obviously these are 12 volt. They're for, RV motorhome, fifth wheel, cabin, off grid, whatever, or even marine applications. I might even look at putting this same light or something similar to it in my boat. Low power draw and so forth, and the ability to dim these and control these is pretty cool. And what I wanted to show you, we're going to walk inside, is how I am going to control these. Excuse the lack of light, but we're going to run over to the other part of the barn. So to be able to control the lights with a dimmer, LED technology has come a long ways, and that's pretty easy to do. So I got a little setup for you over here. I'll show you. It's my box of lights. Again, I bought 12 of them. And here's my little demo I set up for you. So I found this controller. It's a dimmer. It's a 12 or 24 volt, somewhere in between there. So I haven't seen too much in the world of 24 volt LED lights, but I'm sure they exist somewhere. And then the key is it's 30 amp rated. I see them 6 amp, 10 amp, 20 amp. But I've got 12 of these. They're probably about a half an amp a piece. I'm probably drawing 6 amps, maybe 8 amps. Maybe I need to add a couple more to it. I have the ability, I have the headroom in my controller to do that. So I just bought a 30 amp rated dimmer. I just bought it on eBay. They're not expensive. They were it's like 10 bucks, maybe 15. The lights themselves, I think a dozen of them was 90 bucks, something like that. Sometimes I can't quite remember, but somewhere in that ballpark. And now, how do they work and how do they wire up? Well, start off with, I'm going to use for my power source a battery charger. And I will recommend always, if you're doing testing and mocking things up, to use something on the order of a battery charger, not a battery, not a jumper box, because at about 15 amps, this thing's going to trip out. All right, it's not going to blow something up, cause a fire. A battery or jump box that has the ability to put out hundreds of amps doesn't know that you just shorted a couple of wires together or something, or one of your components was defective from the factory or something. It's just going to let her blow. So use a battery charger. It's just safer to use. Okay. How do you hook it up? So the dimmer is very simple. You have power in on this side. I wish that would focus a little better. You'll have to take my word for it that this says in, volt minus, and volt plus. So we hit the negative up here and the positive up here. These are just jumper leads that come up to the clips on the battery charger. And then we take the positive and negative which is out positive, out negative, to the light itself. So the black wire, I believe, is the positive on the lights, and then white wire is a negative on the lights. And then I put this little plastic between there so we didn't short things out. And now let's see how they work. So this has a rotary dial. It doesn't even click to go off. It just rolls nice and smooth. And you can see that they'll dim down to, you know, practically nothing. And then we'll just turn them up slowly. I know my camera's adjusting for the light now. But let me see if I can back away so you can get an idea. Yeah, they're pretty bright. They're pretty bright by fluorescent above. And now you can see why I wanted the ability to dim these. These are just 4 of them, and I'm going to have 12 of them in there. So nice even light. Then we'll turn it back down again. Okay. And let the camera adjust. So all we've done is paralleled, in other words, take all of the negatives and tied them together, take all of the positives and tie them together, and we've tied that straight over to the dimmer. So you're going to take, if you're installing 4, 6, 10 of these in a row, you're just going to take your hot and your ground from light to light to light to light to light, and then over to the dimmer. That's it. That's all there is to it. You're not series them. We're taking one wire. You're taking both wires, hot to hot, ground to ground, parallel from this light to this light to this light to this light, however many lights you have in your string, and back to your dimmer. All you need to be sure of is if you're not overloading your dimmer, I would say if use like a 2-to-1 safety factor to make this dimmer last. If you've got 15 amps or less, go to a 30 amp dimmer. If you've only got a couple of lights and you want to use a 6 amp dimmer, that'd be just fine. But you know, you roll the dice a little bit, just because the way where these are made. But yeah, I think I got a pretty good little setup here. So next time you see these, we'll be installing them in the Stepvan, 6 down each side, hook them up to the dimmer. That'll be accessible when I walk in the door or while I'm in the vehicle working, and I'll be able to set the lights just where I want them. And for all 12 lights and the dimmer, I think I've right at $100 in it. So the rest of it's just my labor to install it, and it's just that easy. So if you got a motorhome, a travel trailer, tiny house, a boat, whatever, this is a LED light install on a dimmer. It's just that easy. Thanks for watching, comment, and subscribing. Please hit the like button. If you would, please share it with a friend. We'll talk to you later.